Hey, Instagram. I'm going to let the gram go out and grab some of my friends. Grab some of my friends so you guys can come on in the house. Come on in the house on this afternoon. Hey, Rudy. How are you? Hey, Alex. Give me 1 second. Thank you so much. I missed you, Rudy. I know I got your message. Hey, Famira, how are you? Hey, hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. I am waiting for my guest. I am definitely waiting for my guest. Hopefully, you guys are having a phenomenal day on this Wednesday afternoon. Phenomenal. Hey. I was just talking about you, Famira, on yesterday, and yes, it was all good, okay? So hopefully you are doing well. So I am waiting on my guest, but as we do, let me go ahead and officially introduce myself. I am, of course, Dr. Cozette M, America's #1 tax and accounting strategist. Of course, I work with my 6 and 7 figure CEOs to help them grow, scale, and leverage in their firm. I do that, of course, by watching their KPIs, helping them implement those key performance indicators so that they can reach some of those target goals. We're looking at their profit and loss statement to understand where the money is going, how they can actually cut costs in their organization, looking at other strategies to help them reduce their taxable income, cut the costs that they may owe Uncle Sam, and other strategic things. I also work with our CPAs, our EAs, our tax professionals to help them grow in their firm, to help them scale, to help them grow, and to help them leverage the skill set that they already have. All right, we do this through coaching. We do this through other resources and tools that we have. We are a continuing education provider with the Internal Revenue Service. So we offer those courses where they can get their hours that they need each and every year with the Internal Revenue Service. So I am here. I'm waiting on my guest. Hey, Mark, how you doing? Good to see you. You big flirt? Yes, I'll be seeing all those posts that you make out there, but it's all good, Mark. So let me see if I can have my guest join me. I'm waiting for her to join me, but let me see if I can. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's see. Well, it says you need the latest version of Instagram before you can join me to my guest. While we are doing, it says you need the latest update of Instagram before you can join me. So hop off and then hop back on. I'm going to be here while you do that, okay? All right, so listen, I wanted to talk about a few things, especially while our guest is fixing her Instagram. She's got to reboot and see if she can get the latest and greatest version of Instagram. But listen, guys, I wanted to talk about financial responsibility. And all of us at some point in our lives, we have financial situations that we encounter. You know, it is never too late to start getting our financial affairs in order. It is never too late to start getting our financial affairs in order, because usually it's always too late when something happens to get our financial affairs in order. If you guys were to actually head over to my Facebook page right now, Cozette M White, you will see that there is a picture on my page and it's asking for your blessings. Listen, guys, like I said, when things happen, hello, Freddie, Flash Bull. Hello, True One. How are you guys doing? We're waiting for my guest to join us, but if you are just joining me for the first time, come on, y'all, give me some love. Give me some thumbs up. Show me, let me hear that you guys are there. I need some love. I always need that energy, that love in the room. But we are talking about financial responsibilities until my guest speaker fixes her phone and reboots. if you head over to my Facebook page, there is a picture of a true dear friend who had an incident while she was doing some traveling. She traveled out of the country less than a week ago, and in doing so, she got injured. Okay, well, she didn't get injured. She was sick. And so it ended up where she needed to have emergency surgery done on her. Okay, that emergency surgery, you guys, that emergency surgery almost ended her life. Okay. Subsequently, after coming out of surgery, she had a seizure and she also fainted. Okay. So you know what happens if you have a seizure, and if you have too many seizures, they can put you into induced coma. Nonetheless, she needed to become stable before they can move her from the other country back into the United States. I share all this with you is because it is never too late for us to get our financial affairs in order. There are some things that were left unattended to here at home before she left. But things happen. Who was to think that she would go to another country and get sick? Well, in doing so, there are some things that still need to be resolved here in the event, if worst case, but we're going to pray and things are going to be looking good. But we need to make sure, hey, girlfriend, hey, how you doing? You going to kill me. I always see the girlfriend connected, but you just kill me later, okay? Shidell. But we need to make sure that our financial affairs are in order. What does financial affairs look like, you all? It is not necessarily just the financial component of it, but we need to ensure that we have our life insurance in order. We need to ensure that we have those types of paperwork in order. Our wills, our living trust. We need to make sure that we have the correct individuals, our beneficiaries that are on this paperwork, because what if it's our time and our time is up and we don't have some of the more important documents in order? We need to ensure that we have all documents in order. It doesn't matter if you're in your 20s. It doesn't matter if you're in your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, your 60s. Things happen in life and we just need to stay ready, you guys. So before my guest, and hopefully she'll jump on, before my guest fixes her Instagram account, I need for all of you guys to just promise yourself on this 14th day of December, as we're heading into a new year, promise yourself that you will get your financial affairs in order. If you have a bank account, which we all should, we need to ensure that we have the appropriate beneficiary on there. Okay, if we've gotten a divorce, we need to take that spouse off. If we've done some shifting, some changes, we need to make sure that we have the right people on our forms. Okay, so I just wanted to share that. That's not actually what I jumped on here today to talk about, because I have a guest and I'm waiting for her. But I thought it would be a perfect opportunity for me to share that with you guys. I am a financial advisor. I hold a lot of people's financial affairs in my hand, and I see a lot. And when it hits home, then I feel even more compelled to make sure that I share that with as many people as possible. Okay? If you don't have your financial affairs today, make a promise. And if you go make a promise, I want you to put in the chat right there, I promise to get my affairs in order. Just put I promise. You don't have to put all that long stuff. Just put I promise. Okay, I promise. That means you are putting it out in the universe. You are letting not only me, but you're letting the universe know that you are making a commitment, not only to yourself, but you're letting us know that you promise that you will get your financial affairs in orders. That means if you don't have beneficiaries on your 401k, that means if you have some unresolved issues that legally that you know that you need to take care of before it's too late. That means making sure that you have those wills, those living trusts. I don't do wills. I don't do living trusts, but I can give you guys a few recommendations of people that I hold high in my resources to help you get those living trusts, help you get those wills in place. All right. So let me see if my friend has jumped back in. Alex, if you can just let me know if you are in the room or if you could let me know if you are rebooting, if you're here, because I'm just waiting on you. All right, Alex, I have my special guest, Alexandria. She is a CPA. We decided that we were going to come today and have a conversation with you guys. We wanted to have an open, a candid conversation about this upcoming tax season, about things that you need to make sure that you are getting prepared for. I know that most of you on my thread, you probably don't even want to talk about money. You probably don't want to have the conversation about taxes, but guess what? We are just about 16 days away from January 1st. January 1st, you know, my phone rings. All of our phone starts ringing talking about you guys are ready to get those tax returns done. Unless you like some of us, some of y'all are like procrastinators, right? So if you are, eager to get those taxes done, if you're eager to learn something, then just hang out with me. I have my girl, Alexandria. She's going to be joining us for Thriving Conversations. Listen, y'all, if you're not ready, if you're waiting for if you need those last minute tax strategies, I'm going to give you a few. Some of them, it may be too late. Some of them, it may not. But if you have not already had your last paycheck and you're getting that bonus, maybe defer that bonus into some 401k. Okay. That's going to help reduce your taxable income. All right. Make sure that if you have, what is it called? It's medical, where you contribute to, gosh, I'm trying to think what it is, and you got to make sure that you use it all. Oh, here she is. Here she is. Let me see. I'm trying to make sure that my guest comes in. Let me see. It said that she did something, you guys. So bear with me. Bear with me. Ah, there she goes.
Hey. Yes. Yeah, I was trying to type the FSA you have to use by the end of the year.
There you go. There you go. There you go. FSA. So thank you. All my CPAs. Thank you guys for that. Yes. So if you have, it's FSA. Let's tell them what it is. It's a flex spending account. If you contribute to a flex spending account, make sure that you utilize that by the end of the year, because some of them are designed to be, if either you use it or you lose it. So if you lose it, that means you're throwing money down the drain. And right now, anytime, but right now, none of us have money to be going down the drain, especially as prices are increasing in the manner in which they are. So without further ado, let me go ahead and introduce to you guys, or allow her to introduce. But thank you so much, Alexandria, for going ahead and taking a moment to fix your Instagram and do that update. Look. It's technology. It is all about technology. And that's okay. That's okay. You got it together. So go ahead, tell the people who you are, what you do, and who you serve.
Oh, perfect. Hey, everyone. I'm Alex Davis. I'm a CPA and certified financial planner. I have a tax and financial consulting firm, and I primarily serve women entrepreneurs. And I don't just do taxes. That's boring. No, it's not boring. But I focus on a holistic approach, and not only doing tax strategies, but actually supporting my clients and changing their relationship with money. That goes into mindset and all that fun stuff. And yeah.
All right. So since you said you do tax planning, let's start there. Well, no. I don't even want to start there. I want to start with this conversation because in my Facebook group, the Tax Curative Live, and if you guys are tax professionals, EAs, tax attorneys, and you want to join a phenomenal Facebook group, then I encourage you to click the link in my bio to join the Tax Curative Lab. But the other day, yesterday, as a matter of fact, I made a post about what are some of the things that individuals want to leave in 2022. And this goes for all of you that are on the thread. What do you want to leave back in 2022? What are you fed up with? What are you tired? So as it relates to mindset, you guys, I got a lot of people saying they want to leave self-doubt behind. They want to leave procrastination behind. They want to leave limited beliefs behind. They want to leave arrogant people behind. So all of that has to do with mindset. And as we are, as business owners, are building our business, those things have a direct impact on our business. So as you talk to your clients about mindset, what are some of the things that you share with them, Alex?
Well, I share with them that it's the most important. It's the part that you cannot skip. And so I always say you cannot outwork the inner work. So really being intentional about honing in on some of those insecurities and those feelings when you don't feel like you can show up and be your full self. And so I really work with my clients on identifying what those feelings are and speaking to it. Because a lot of times what happens is you don't even want to say it out loud. And when you keep it inside, it does not serve you. You cannot fix it if you don't get it out there. So some tips I give them is get support. Start there. Get support, identify the feelings, and then get support. I recommend books. Right now I'm doing a Yana Van Zant novel. She's really amazing. And then purchase a journal. If you do not have a journal in your life, I strongly encourage it. And I tell my clients all the time, whether you do it daily, I would definitely recommend at least weekly, but journal out your thoughts. Get that, the chatter that's going around in your head, get it out in paper. You would be amazed at just how much better you feel just getting it out on paper, and then implementing meditation and finding time for self. I think especially as entrepreneurs, women particularly, we serve everyone but ourselves a lot of the time. And so finding time, whether it's 5 minutes or 10 minutes a day, daily, you need to be serving time with yourself. So I am very much I'm on my clients' necks about making sure that they are doing self-care and getting time for themselves.
Right. And so some of that self-care and some of those thoughts that we believe, they start from a young age. One of my first books, or my first book, shall I say, was Attracting the Best. And Attracting the Best is 30 days of positive affirmations, you guys, wealth affirmations, affirming into our life what it is that we truly want. We need to realize that the energy and the things that we say, that we put out into the universe, they come back to us. So if we are putting negative vibes out into the energy, things that, such as conversations, those self-conversations that we have, such as, I can't, I don't think I can't see myself investing, I don't know how I'm going to get there. Those are all negative things that we're telling ourselves. Those are negative stories that we continue to have up here. And we somehow, some way, have got to learn how to reject or get rid of those things. When we do journaling, as Alex just said, it helps us have more frequently positive conversations.
Yeah.
So what I want to talk about now is, you mentioned tax planning. I was giving them a few tips before you jumped on about some last minute tax strategies. Before we even jump into what those are, let's talk about tax planning. Because when clients come to me and they ask for tax planning, it is not, in my personal opinion, and if anyone out there, any other CPAs, EAs, tax professionals agree with me, just give me some love in the box. But listen, you guys, tax planning is not about me just telling you to shift that W-2, add your kids, do this. That is not planning. Planning is about being proactive. So let's have a conversation about that, Alex. What do you want to share with those that are on this thread, that are in our live tax planning?
The first step is, if you are a business owner, you have to have your books in order. We cannot provide proper planning if and when I say books, your accounting, your income statement, your balance sheet, those items, we have to start there for business owners. And so before we can skip right to the sexy, fun strategies, I have a solid bookkeeper in place. And if, as a business owner, you know that is not you, delegate and hire. So we have to start there. So we have to basically start with good numbers. And even if you don't have a business, just tracking how you spend your money and what income you have coming in. Because in order to craft a plan, we have to make sure that we're using proper information. And so that's the first step. And then, there's so much. Where do you even start with tax planning? Seriously.
Well, when I think about tax planning for me, number one, it's about being proactive and not reactive. It's about planning in advance so that you are not caught with anything. When I truly think about tax planning, it is And here's how I would do a tax planning session at a high level. I'm going to ask you if you're a business owner for your profit and loss, your balance sheet. I'm also going to ask you for any external income that you may have. And when I say external, I'm talking about if your spouse has a JOB, if you have a JOB, I'm going to take into consideration the entire picture. I'm going to look at the business. How are we going to save the business? How are we going to save you from stroking a check to Uncle Sam? And I'm also going to take a look at the big picture. What's going on in your family? What's going on with your spouse? Are you filing a joint return? Are you filing just by yourself? I'm looking at the whole thing. I'm not just looking at, let me take this profit and loss statement for 1 month and determine where you're at. It is a strategy when we look at this. It is truly to help you save. If you are sitting with a CPA, a tax advisor, a tax planner, you need to start this strategy session mid-year and work your way every single month until you're at the end of the year. My phone is blowing up. Until you get to the end of the year, so that you can take time to implement and execute some of these things. Some of these things require time. Would you not agree, Alex?
100%. It requires time, and then also you have to consider some of them also require cash flow. And so I completely agree 100% with being proactive about it, to plan, to plan, and then looking at it from a holistic approach, because some strategies, it may make sense, but not for you, depending on what your financial goals are and what your family situation is. So yes, in that respect, absolutely. You're starting with the big picture, and then I even drill down and then specifically looking at what are your goals, what are your particular conditions that are going to either serve a proper strategy or may not, because some of them require cash flow, and it may be an amazing strategy, but if you don't have the liquid cash to actually now implement it, it's not a strategy that will work for you. So being able to really look at big picture, what is going on here, how can we serve you?
So one thing, and I love how she said, is some of them may require cash flow. What we do in our office, we look at some of the strategies that do not require cash flow. We move into the cash flow side only after we've exhausted all of the other strategies that are available to tax professionals. So what are some of the last minute strategies that you would share with anybody that's on this live right now, or anybody that may catch it on the replay? Listen, you guys, I need some love. I need some hearts. I need some thumbs, because it's kind of quiet in the room. So if you guys can show Alex and I some love, just give us some hearts. Just let us know you're listening. If this is of value to you, just put a 1 in the chat. I want to see a bunch of ones flowing through the thread. A 1 in the chat. We will love that. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
So looking at no cash or low cash type of strategies, just look at what you've already spent. So a lot of times it's, have you taken into account your home office deduction as business owner? Really, we're going through your books with the fine-tooth comb to identify what deductions have we not accounted for, making sure you are capturing those types of expenses. You don't want to leave those out. Going through and identifying what credits have we not considered that could be left on the table. And so now this is kind of lingo, but there are certain credits just for you that you've already spent that you can utilize. Then we consider certain capital gains, loss harvesting. Is that the market is down this year? That may be something to consider, working with your investment advisor to see, okay, should you be doing some loss harvesting to make sure that you're offsetting gains in other areas if that has happened for you.
So I gotta stop you real quick, because you just used some terminology that I'm not sure everybody says.
Oh, please, yes.
Yes, you said harvesting. Can you explain to those that have no idea what that means? We may know what it means, but to some of our individuals that are watching us today, they may not actually know what that means. So just give them a little bit of education.
Oh, absolutely. So if you have stock or other assets for which if you were to sell, you would get capital gains or capital loss. Harvesting your losses basically means you sell some of your capital gain assets. If they are at a loss and you have other assets that are at a gain throughout the year, your losses will offset your gain. So it's an excellent strategy to reduce your gains over the year. We know we want to reduce the gains, and that then lowers your tax.
Perfect. Perfect. All right. So I'm going to let you finish, and then I got another question for you because it's always a good, juicy question that I'm asked this time of the year.
Oh, okay. Looking for similar to at the end of the year with some business owners, we're looking at can we bonus out some of your income. So let's see if we can bonus it out to reduce the taxes depending on your type of strategy. And even though, and then I also, believe it or not, I still also work with my clients on capitalizing on the deduction called the QBI deduction. So analyzing, okay, are there any things that we can be doing to shift income to take advantage of, it's called the qualified business income deduction. So looking at that, making sure that you are tracking your mileage properly. I feel like that's something that gets missed, and that expense can add up substantially depending on how much you drive for your business. And so things like that is where I really try to hone in on really looking at what have you already incurred already throughout the year that we just haven't picked up on. Going through that route is really beneficial. Again, I think I heard you mention earlier, looking at HSA deduction, any retirement contributions that you would like to make, because it serves two purposes. You're saving for the future, and then you're also, of course, getting a tax deduction this year, depending on what it is. And then even looking to set up some plans. Some plans have to be set up by the end of the year. So that is something that you want to take advantage of because you've realized, oh, we need to get rid of some of this income. Also making sure that those items are handled before the end of the year.
Right. So you gave some great tips. So hopefully you guys are writing these down. One thing, get asked this question. I'm looking for a CPA. What is the difference between a CPA and a tax professional? Now, Alex is probably going to give you her interpretation of it, and I'm going to give you my interpretation of it, you guys. But I'm going to start from what I know, the bookkeeper. The bookkeeper is the person who does all the transactional activity in your organization. He or she is the person that's doing all the posting, looking at the transactions that may occur in the bank, and posting. Your accountant is really looking at what has happened in the business, doing some of the entries, et cetera, before they turn that information over to the controller. And the controller is probably the one that's analyzing what has happened in that profit and loss statement, questioning if there's some categories that are not coded correctly, doing a lot of the analytical stuff before that information is turned over to the CPA. The actually will bless it, so to speak, will ensure that everything is in tip-top shape as it is related to GAAP, and making sure that everything, the checks and balance, they are somewhat of, I like to say, the auditor, so to speak, but they have a different role than what we say our tax professional. Now, we do have our tax professional and we have our CPA. They are both qualified to do a tax return, okay? Mm-hmm. But when it comes to this time of the year, everybody's saying, well, I need a CPA to do my taxes. Is it necessarily that they need a CPA? I'm going to let Lauren chime in on this because she probably has a different viewpoint than I may have, but I want to hear what Alex has to say before I jump in.
So, no, you may or may not need a CPA, and all CPAs are not created equally. So it's really identifying, and it is challenging if you don't know. You may not know what you need. I would say CPA is a good. I won't even say a good CPA. I think it's beneficial when a CPA is basically is compliance, making sure that you are following the IRS code. So it's compliance. Then you get a CPA that may be a tax strategist, and that's when they are really coming in and looking at how can we not only save tax, but then also make sure that we're helping you reach your long-term goals. Because just because you can save tax may not mean that that's actually the best avenue to take, right? And so a tax strategist doesn't necessarily have to be a CPA, and a CPA is not necessarily a tax strategist. And I will say, with some firms, because it's CPAs can be very, very busy. You may find that you're paying a high ticket for a service, and you're basically getting a glorified tax professional. And when I think of just a tax professional or a tax preparer, more so, I think of someone who takes the numbers that are given to you and they enter it, and they may basically it's data input, and then there's just really no guidance. There's no advisory. Whereas with a CPA that's also a tax strategist, tax planner, is not just is yes, they're looking at the information that they bring you, but they're asking you questions. I'm analyzing when my clients come. I'm asking, okay, can you explain what's going on? Why is this expense higher than last year? And I want to understand that, because one, this is how you can uncover if there are some mistakes happening. That you can also uncover if there's some opportunity to perhaps advise in another level. Now this gets even in a different role, almost more CFO, if when you're getting to, okay, can this be more efficient? How can we be generating more income? Do these fees seem high for this type of service? What's going on here? So I may have gone overboard with my interpretation of what yeah, actually, but that's basically what I want clients to know. Just because you hire a CPA, do not just expect that they are going through and analyzing and making sure that they're creating these tax plans for you. Tax planning is separate from a tax preparation of your tax return. That's the biggest takeaway. They are not the same, and getting an understanding of what's included with my tax return being prepared, what all is included, because tax planning it's not typically involved.
Right. You hit the nail on the head, and I love it, because all CPAs, all tax professionals are not treated the same. You got to look at them different, and you have to really look at what's the overall objection. What is it that you want? Mm-hmm. Yes, one may be just a number cruncher, and they're going to take the information and key it into the tax return as you provide it to them. There are others that are going to look at the data, analyze the data, and can truly see, like, from a high level or bird's eye view, some things that you need to do. So my takeaway to all of you who are listening, and you are on the fence, or maybe you've said to yourself, I need a CPA, and you call someone and you say, are you a CPA? And they say no. It doesn't automatically mean like I cannot use them. Okay. Right. You need to ask. Listen, guys, I'm gonna just be real right now. You got to inspect what you expect. And I don't care who you go to. I really don't care who you go to. You need to ask for references. You need to ask for receipts. You need to ensure that they are credentialed. There are a lot of, y'all about to hurt, they're going to hate me what I'm about to say, but I'm about to say it because I don't hold my tongue. There are a lot of individuals in this industry right about now who are just, they picked up in this, they started this business just because they thought it was something where they can make money. You need to make sure that you are looking at their credentials. You need to make sure that you are doing some interviewing. Ask them for a couple of referrals from, their clients. Check past clients. Check Better Business Bureau. I'm in California. You can go to what we call ctech.org, and you can determine if someone is registered with CTech to do your tax return. In California, we as professionals, we are supposed to register before we can actually do a tax return and collect money. That is it, and collect money. The state of California does not play. Now, a lot of the other states, it's not like that, but in the state of California, we must register. We are required to complete 20 hours every single year before we start the tax season and collect any money. Okay, so I'm gonna say it again. Y'all gotta inspect what you expect. And if you expect to have a tax return that's audit proof, that's audit free of errors, then y'all got to do a little bit of work. Going to somebody that looks popular on social media is not what it's all about. Okay. No. The IRS is really cracking down on small business owners. Talking to my small business owners, the IRS is really cracking down. Y'all heard it. How many people did you hear that they hired? Now, let's not get it twisted. All of that staff, all of that force, that employment is not assigned to audit work. but you best believe that they are watching the small businesses. You best believe that you are right in line or can be in line with some of those that can get audited. So don't put your blinders on. Don't just go to anybody. Look into these people who say that they are providing tax services. And I'm being real right about now. I guess I've been in the game for a little while, y'all. Let me just say that. So
Yes.
I've been in the game for over 2 decades, and it's real for my small business owners out there. Inspect what you inspect. I don't care if you go to a CPA, a tax professional, make sure you do a little bit of homework before you just pass your documents over to them and say, here you go. Because y'all might end up with an audit.
Yeah. Right, and that you can't substantiate. And I would say one sign also is if you find that your tax professional is only working like 4 months out of the year, the January through
Come
April,
on. Come
that
on.
should be a sign that this isn't what they do for real. Because if you are really preparing taxes day in and day out, and you are a student of this industry, you're doing this all year long. This is not a quick money grab from January to April and getting you the biggest refund. Because I think that's the other thing that I have sometimes clients when they first come to me, they're looking for refund. I stop them right there. But first of all, refunds are not great. That means that you just basically gave the IRS 0% interest free loan. Why are we loaning the IRS money? They can handle that. So that's not what I go after. It's like making sure that you're being strategic about it, because what happens is when you have someone that's not skilled at reducing your tax in a thought out and manner that's also being documented, I see a lot of clients who end up with just losses, huge losses on their businesses. And the issue with that is a couple reasons. One, sometimes depending on the loss, that can be a red flag, especially if it's happening over and over again consistently in the business, because now the IRS can come in and say, is this really a business or is this a hobby? That's one problem. The next problem is now you want funding. Banks don't loan money to businesses that are failing. And so going through and looking at if your tax preparer or CPA was of the mindset, well, let's just reduce all your income, that's how you save tax. But now you are now looking to level up your business, or you're now looking to purchase your home. You do not have tax returns that are going to substantiate income. And what happens with a lot of clients that I serve is now they're coming back to me and I'm having to amend returns. And now you're paying penalties, interest. You have to come up with a large sum of money. There's better ways.
But guess what? That also is a flag for the Internal Revenue to audit you. Why are you going back and making this change? Why are you going back and all of a sudden you have income? Or why are you going back and seeing you have all these additional expenses? What happened? Come on, y'all. What happened? But I'm going to go back to where we started. Bring this back full circle. Strategic planning, you guys. Strategic planning. Remember I said tax planning? If you are working with a good strategic planner and you know that it is projected that you want to buy a home the next year, the next 2 years, if you are sitting down with someone, they're going to tell you, wait. Didn't you say you want to buy a home? And for us, it's really about listening to our clients and asking those questions and probing. I'm going to always say, well, do you plan on buying a home? Do you plan on making any new purchases? If you are, why are we going to set you up for failure? Even if you think you want to buy a home, I'm going to say, well, we need to make sure that we have X amount of dollars in net income, in profitable income, showing this to the Internal Revenue Service, because baby, they're going to ask for a form 4506T, and that's what your income is. Okay. There's no way around it. A 4506T is going to be asked by the lender so that they can confirm what you're telling them in black and white is factual information. Okay. So, and it takes a while, you guys. If you are planning correctly and say you do want to buy a home, and then you come back to Alex or myself and say, we need to amend this return. Guess what? That amended return is going to take a minute to get in the system. If you are applying for a loan and you put down you made X amount of dollars, listen, y'all, stop playing.
Be proactive. Yes. Being proactive is the best. Being proactive and making sure you're working with a skilled professional.
Right. So listen up, you guys. We have been hanging out for a minute. I do appreciate Alex taking time out of her busy day. Alex, tell them where are you and how they can stay connected with you. And if you have anything on the horizon, please make sure that you share it with the audience.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can find me here on Instagram. I'm at Alexandria Chanel _ CPA. And then my website is www.agataxservices.com. And I'm based in Florida, but I service clients all over the United States. And yeah, and if you're just tuning in, I work with entrepreneurs, lots of business owners, and I spent a decade in public accounting, so I'm pretty well seasoned working with high net worth individuals and small business owners. It is my passion to get you up to speed. There's so much that misinformation out here,
Yes.
and I really enjoy the education piece. So my clients find that they love working with me because I'm not just doing your tax return. We're talking. We are
All right. Right.
So yes, and then and just keep your eyes peeled. I have some workshops coming up that I think entrepreneurs would be excited about, and so just follow me so you can learn more.
All right. So you guys heard it. Make sure you follow Alex. I just want to let you guys know, for those of you who have not heard, maybe you've been sleeping under a rock for the last month or so, I officially announced Thrive Live, which is the preferred tax conference for our tax professionals, EAs, CPAs, tax attorneys, as well as anyone in the financial industry. It is next May 11th through the 13th here in Los Angeles, California. It is designed for us by me. We will spend days together. We're going to be talking about our mindset strategy. On day 2, we're going to be talking about leveraging our pricing, positioning, our packaging. We're also going to be talking about our messaging, our category of one, and our marketing. Who is it that we're selling to? Are we selling accordingly? And on day 3, we're going to talk about everything that everybody hates. That is scaling with systems, automations, as well as our A team. All right. And for those of you who purchase your VIP ticket, day 0 will be 12 hours full of continuing education hours that you can earn that will be recorded with the Internal Revenue Service. Again, it is May 11th through the 13th. The link is in my bio here on Instagram. All you got to do is go there. I do want to put this out as a bonus. I have 5 master classes that anyone who purchased their ticket, you have an opportunity to attend those 5 master classes leading up to the time that we meet in May. All right. So the first one kicks off this month. So I'm just putting that out there. We have pre-sale tickets going on right now. Tickets will go up to their regular rate come January 1st. So you have an opportunity to grab your ticket, whether that's VIP or general admission, at the pre-sale rate. And I'm going to say this, I can't wait to meet you guys. I can't wait to greet you at Thrive Live. All you got to do is head up to the thread that's right above in my bio, and you can find out all the information about the conference. Alex, I just want to say thank you. I know you could have been sleeping. I know you could have been preparing for next year. I know you could have been wrapping some Christmas gifts. But I just want to say thank you so much for taking this moment to join myself as well as others on Instagram as we, talk about this upcoming season, talk about taxes and whatnot. So thank you. Listen, you guys, if you haven't already went over to her page to follow her, make sure you follow her and make sure you follow me. Follow both of us to stay connected when we go live. All you got to do is click the 3 buttons above or that bell, and you'll get alerted every time one of us go live. All right. You guys have a phenomenal Wednesday, and I will see you on the next go round. Take care, everybody.
Thank you so much. Take care.
You are
Bye.
so welcome. Bye-bye.